Back to CW Iowa Live, and folks, we are just a couple of days from school being back in full session.
Absolutely, and a very wonderful individual I had the honor of speaking with at the Great Iowa State Fair, who had a very definite presence at the Varied Industries building for an important reason. Elizabeth Keysedrel from Iowa College. Great to see you again.
You too. Good morning.
Because there's an important message. We're talking back to school, high school, college, but there's something we need to start thinking about right now.
Right. One of the things that we heard more than we would have liked to hear at the fair, we'd talk to high school students and say, hey, are you planning for college? And we'd hear, oh, no, it's too soon. I'm only a sophomore. It is not too soon. It is not too soon. Even if you're a few years away from actually submitting your college applications, there are things that you can and should be doing right now to start planning your path, make sure that you're doing the right things to get there, and to make yourself a stronger candidate for college.
All right, so prove us wrong. Why should I be thinking about it right now, even if I'm a freshman or sophomore going into high school?
Because if you wait until senior year when it is time to submit college applications and financial aid applications, there's a lot going on right then. And you want to have an idea before all of that starts what you want to do, where you want to go. And it really is not too soon to start as a freshman or a sophomore to start exploring your interests.
It takes a while to do the research that's necessary to find the right match, isn't it?
It does. You know, your last guest was talking about doing the work for the lasting results, and the college search is really the same way.
So what if you're a student that says, well, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up or what I'm going to pursue as a degree? Is there other things we can be answering question-wise right now?
Well, a student who doesn't know yet what he or she wants to do is a very typical student.
Right.
There aren't that many people who at 15 or 16 are locked into what they want to do. So now is a great time to be exploring some interests. That you can do that through extracurricular activities at school. You can do that through trying some different jobs, maybe some job shadowing and mentoring. There are ways to start thinking about how the things that you like to do, the things that you are good at, can apply to a rewarding career.
You know, it would be really nice if you would have some kind of guide that would show us how to go through this step by step and just make the process a lot easier.
That would be fantastic.
Wouldn't that be nice?
It would, and you know, as a matter of fact, that's what I would really like to talk about today. We have this free guide.
Oh my goodness!
And it's free.
It is free. This is called Your Course to College. It is for high school students and their families.
Okay.
And we know that the process of getting to college is intimidating,
a daunting,
maybe even frightening.
Yeah.
And this book is designed to walk students and their families through every step.
And I think you hit the nail on the head here, because I've talked to some high school students because you usually ask them, they're in high school, one of the conversation things starters are, well, where do you want to go to college? And somebody, I don't even want to think about college. And they're afraid of what's coming up.
Sure, especially when you start talking about financial aid, even parents, you can see the fear start to cross their faces at this point. So one of the things that we really want students to do is to start thinking in the early high school years about what they might want to do. And of course, you're right, the question that we usually ask is, where are you going to go to school? Well, before you decide that, you should think about what you want to do. Because there might be a school that mom and dad went to that's a great school, but if it doesn't have the program you want. Right. So you want to start doing some things to consider your interests, consider the careers that you might want. Make sure that you're taking courses in high school that are prepping you for the kind of program that you want to go into.
Which it would make even more important to start thinking about this in your freshman or sophomore year.
Yes, and another thing that you should be thinking about even that early, we talk about the cost of college, which is going up. One great way to save on college costs is to earn some college credit while you're still in high school. And you're not going to be able to do that as a freshman in high school, but you are going to be able to talk to your counselor and say, okay, what do I need to do to get myself on track so that as a junior or senior, I can be taking AP credits or dual enrollment courses? Because any credit that you have before you start college is credit
saving you money.
Yes, it's saving you money.
You don't have to pay for.
And it's getting you through more quickly.
That's true,
and maybe some of those classes that you're not so excited about when you get to the college level. That was me. It's like, no, I want to study this. Well, you still have to take these. And it's like, so get that taken care of now and start thinking about that now so you're on the right pathway.
Yes. Yes.
Perfect. What are some other things that we should know besides start thinking about it, getting our interests in place? What are some other things we should keep in the back of our mind?
Well, we divide this book into 4 sections.
Okay.
So section 1 is what we were just talking about, getting there, positioning yourself, right, to make decisions that are good for you, to make yourself a solid candidate for college.
And it includes the type of colleges that you mentioned and the application, some tips and things you can do just to make sure you're applying in the right way.
Right, and then once you've done that, then we get to the part that frightens people, which is affording it. So that's chapter 2. And what this really walks people through is these are the applications you need to fill out. This is when you need to do it. The big one is, of course, the FAFSA.
Yep.
The application
You've talked
for federal
about that
student
before.
aid.
Why don't you
Yes.
touch on that real quick?
So this chapter, we have a before the FAFSA. Here's the documentation that you need. Go ahead and line it up right now, so that when you sit down to file, it can be a quick and easy process. And then we also have a section on what happens after the FAFSA. These are the reports that you're going to get. This is the information that's going to go to your school. This is what you're going to get in the form of a financial aid award letter from your schools, how to compare them, how to understand all the different kinds of financial aid, because there are so many different pieces. I shouldn't say nobody, very few students get one source of financial aid that takes them all the way through.
Right.
For most students, it's this and that and this and that and this, and they all have to come together. So we help them understand how it all fits, what the obligations are with each kind
For a
of
typical
aid.
student, how many different pieces of that puzzle, the financial puzzle, come into play?
It's really going to depend on the student and on the school. But, you know, we look at a typical award letter, probably half a dozen or more between your grants,
I was
your
gonna say, I'm
scholarships,
pretty sure I
your
had at
loans,
least
your
5 or
work
6.
study. Yeah.
Yeah, but there are a lot of them out there, and you
Yes.
need to find them. That's the
Yes.
important thing, too. They're not going to come to you.
Is it too soon to think scholarships to apply for those types of things, or is that stuff you want to prep now that you'll be applying more for when you're a junior and senior?
Those applications are probably going to happen when you're a senior.
Okay.
But you can be thinking about how to make yourself a strong scholarship candidate. And getting involved in your school certainly helps, getting involved in your community, showing that you have been exploring career options, that you've been taking that seriously, that's really good. And it's also not too soon as a sophomore or junior to start thinking about letters of recommendation. Because here's what happens. The popular teachers and counselors, the ones you're going to want those letters from,
They get inundated.
so does everybody else. Yes. So start working with them early on and say, hey, okay, I
Yeah.
am still a year away from this, but when the time comes, can you be a letter writer for me?
Absolutely.
Okay. Another one of the sections you have is you have it entitled "Succeed," and it's making the transition, right?
Right, because it's not enough that we help students through the application, the financial aid process. We don't want to just say, see ya, good luck, have fun. We
Right.
really want to help them through that bridge between high school and college, because a lot changes. This is the most on their own that most students have ever been. This is kind of the way station on the way to full adulthood. So we have some tips about taking advantage of resources that are available on campus, just about how your life is going to change, how much more responsible for yourself you are in time management, academic expectations. That's all laid out
What's
here.
the most difficult hurdle for students to clear when making the transition?
It depends a lot, again, on the student and on the school. But one thing that we hear a lot is time management. Time, you know, it used to be I was in school this many hours a day, then I go home and do a couple of hours of homework. You go to college, you're in class far fewer hours during the day, but you are responsible for a lot more out of class learning. And that is a big adjustment for students to make.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, so let's finish things up by Directory of Iowa Schools.
Right, so we also have a directory in here, all the colleges and universities that offer credit in the state of Iowa.
Love
and for
that.
each school we have a short description, but we also have tuition and fees, room and board, and these are right up to date. These are for this coming year.
Oh, they are? Okay.
Yes, these costs. We've also got the codes in there for ACT, SAT, and FAFSA. So as you're signing up for those things online, there are codes you have to input for schools that you want to get them, all right at your fingertips in this one book.
really? Okay.
Yes.
So nice. And deadlines that you need to keep in mind as well.
Yeah, we've got the priority financial aid filing deadlines for every school here. So you can flip through and see, oh, it looks like my first one is going to fall in January. I better get on the ball.
So these are all the
Exactly.
major universities and the colleges in the state of Iowa?
All the universities and
All the
colleges in the state of Iowa.
Unbelievable. So everything you really need to get a successful start to going to college in your hands. Where can I pick one of these up?
Go to our website, iowacollegeaid.gov.
Everything is there.
Yeah, iowacollegeaid.gov/course. It's called Course to College, so that'll take you right to the spot where you can order it. It is also available in Spanish. It's at the translator right now, so we'll have the Spanish edition rolled out in the next couple of weeks here.
Wonderful. All right.
Amazing.
So it's not too early. That's the bottom line.
It's
if you're
never
a
too
sophomore,
early.
a freshman or sophomore in high school, it's not too early.
Our checklist starts with freshman year.
Yeah, even if you're a junior or senior.
I was going to say, can we also say it's not too late?
Yes, we should also say it's never too late.
Make
Yeah.
sure you
Okay.
take advantage of it as well.
Perfect.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so give us that website one more time. Absolutely free for you to use. You're just wanting kids to be successful out
Right,
there.
and we won't do anything with your information except send you this book. It's
Okay.
iowacollegeaid.gov/course.
Wonderful.
That
So
works.
good to see you.
You too.
Thank
Thanks
you
much.
so much.
Yeah.